Today I'm gonna give you guys the top 5 reasons, maybe some extra reasons, why expats are leaving Thailand. I'm just walking in my nice quiet neighborhood. I want to get some matcha, so I thought, hey, why not tell you guys some of the reasons why people are leaving. So let's get into it. Number 1 is visa challenges. Oh my god, I can tell you how annoying it is with visas, right? Ooh, a little bit loud over here. So Thailand is definitely getting more stricter when it comes to its visas. Like, you can't even do the visa runs anymore. Well, not everyone, some people can. The visa runs are getting more difficult to do. A lot of people have been doing that to stay in Thailand long term, because there are some people that can't, for example, get a DVD. A lot of people are like, oh, why don't you get a DVD? Well, not everyone has $15,000 sitting in their bank account. There are some people that have assets who can't take their money out of their assets. There's people that are digital nomads who are new beginners, and they might, like me, when I first came here years ago, I could survive, and I did for 3 years. Before I start making 5 figures, I was not barely, I was living good. I didn't need $15,000 in the bank. So the fact that the DVD needs you to have $15,000 in the bank, it's like, really? What if I have assets? What if I'm a beginner, you know? So that's difficult. So people are turning to educational visas still while they're working here. But even just to do a visa run, you guys know what happened to me. I was in detention, and I met someone else. He only did it once. He did the visa run once, and he got into detention. He ended up going back to South Africa. He was like, oh, I'm done. He said, I was going to come back here for my Muay Thai, but after this, getting put in detention, I am done. See, in Vietnam, for example, you can get, they don't have these visa run loopholes or whatever you want to call them, right? You just pay for a visa and you come in. Simple, easy. Thailand, they want you to pay for a tourist visa, prove how much you have in your bank account. They want this, they want that. It's just too much. But me personally, when I think about it, I'm like, well, it's really not that difficult. Like, I can prove to them how much I have in the bank account, etc. But not everyone, you know, wants to go through that. Plus, there's frequent, like, rule changes, which is very annoying. People don't like that. Again, you're changing this, you're changing that. Now I have to, not only do I have to fill out the visa, now I have to fill out this form online. There's just so much. It's too much. And people are just annoyed with that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is banks. Okay, banks. A number of expats are getting really annoyed with the banking system because they've been shutting down on expats. I don't know why. I know for me that hasn't happened. I don't know what my agent did, but she hooked me up good. She got me a good bank account, and my bank account hasn't closed yet. Touch wood that it won't. But I've seen and met a lot of teachers and people that work here, and they're like, yo, my bank account got closed and I don't even know why. There was some weird stuff going on with Bangkok Bank, and that's just annoying challenge that gets in the way with expats while coming here. Number 3 is loss of honeymoon and integration challenges. Like, the initial excitement wears off. Some people feel like they never truly integrate and struggle with superficial culture connection, language barriers, or deeper roots, making long-term feel like unstable. Like, they feel it's hard for them to make friends here. And I get it, you're in a country where no one speaks your language, but to me, that's when you're like, well, you should learn the language. You should speak Thai. Me personally, I still have not learned Thai. I know I'm not even going to tell you why, because y'all are just going to be like, that's an excuse. It really isn't why I haven't learned Thai. Everyone's got their reason, right? And I guess some people can say it's an excuse. For me, I learned a particular way. You cannot put me in a class to learn a language. I've tried it. I learned through an application, through games. That's how I learned Spanish. I'm pretty good with my Spanish. But here in Thailand, if you put me in class with Thai, it's just, I have to play through a game like Duolingo. And unfortunately, Duolingo doesn't teach Thai. That's just me. But still, regardless though, I still get by. It doesn't really bother me. I use my Google Translator. I learned some words, but I'm not having full conversations or half conversations like I would in Mexico or Latin America, you know. And unfortunately there's no way for me to learn, but some of y'all can just, y'all don't have the problem that I have, ADHD, whatever you want to call it. Y'all can go and learn, take a class and learn the language. So they're finding it hard to fit in. And as well as that, I've noticed here compared to like Vietnam and the Philippines, Thai people are not, they're nice, don't get me wrong, and they definitely like to serve. I don't have Thai people inviting me to events or anything like that. While in Vietnam and the other countries, they're like, oh yeah, come over, come sit with us, come hang out with us. Through my 3 years being here, that's only happened once. A bunch of drunk guys were like, oh, come drink with us. Unfortunately, I was busy. I don't even drink, but I was busy too that day, so I didn't hang out with them. But that doesn't mean that you can't invite people. Like, why do you feel or expect Thais to invite you? And you know what I mean? So I feel like me, I'm introverted and I literally don't need friends. I'm happy being with myself. I'm a solo traveler, but I also can communicate with people and make friends, but I don't go out of my way for it. I'm one of those people, if someone puts effort towards me, then okay, let me put effort towards them and start a friendship. Ooh, that looked like a cool little house in the woods. Wow. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted with all these building structures and all that. See how the grasses are overgrown? See, there my ADHD kicking in, y'all. let me step back. I never knew this place existed. Okay, so yeah, so people are finding it hard to fit in here. At the same time, I think like that's a you thing that comes back to learning Thai. Maybe if you spoke the language, it would be a whole different system, situation. Number 3 is the cost of living. It seems like the cost of living in Thailand seems to be getting higher than it was before. For me, it's not really much of a big deal, but there are people who are surviving on their pension here because they couldn't survive in America. And now that the cost of living is rising a little bit, a lot of those people do seem to be having challenges. But I don't know, for me, I feel like the cost of living is, yeah, I've noticed a little budge, but not too much. But then again, I make good money, so not everyone is in that situation. And expats, especially the retirees on the pension, they're finding it a little bit tricky, or they're like, yo, like things are getting a little bit higher here. And especially with more tourists and more expats moving, yes, prices in some areas rise. Like you go to a restaurant with Western food, it costs so much. And in the back of my head, I'm like, why does it cost so much? So I just eat local food. I eat where the locals eat, especially the vegan local food. I'm vegan, so my plant-based food costs, you know, in the West, it costs high. So I eat where the locals be eating. Yeah, sometimes I go out and eat at these expensive Western restaurants, but it's still way better than Australia, you know. But still, a part of me is like, why is it so damn high? Like, I don't understand why this costs this much when like shit, sometimes it might even cost higher than Australia, but that's at the real expensive restaurants. But you can still make it here. You could still go to a good restaurant, eat some good food, like just eat some damn Thai food. Stop eating the Western looking food. Anyway, another reason why a lot of people are avoiding Thailand right now is a lot of people don't feel safe, especially the Chinese people, and I don't blame you. I recently tried to help someone file a police report who's been kidnapped, and they made it really difficult for me. I still haven't made the report because it's just so difficult, and the Chinese embassy isn't helping. So basically, a long story short, a guy came here because he was tricked about having an interview here for his job in China or something. Next thing you know, he's in Chiang Mai when he should have been in Bangkok, and the family hasn't heard from him ever since. Yes, Thailand does make big efforts to show you guys like, hey, we're fighting these people, we're taking down these scam cities. But how come the other day it was hard for me to make a police report? How come there's still people getting kidnapped? So this is a huge deal, especially for Chinese tourists, and they're not comfortable living here anymore. They're like, hell no, I don't want to get kidnapped and made a slave or a slave and start selling my body and scamming people in these scam cities, have my organs sell. So I completely understand why giant Chinese are dipping out on Thailand, and they're going to places like Vietnam and other places. They just don't feel safe. And